continue with our regular session then. I'm just continuing the old session since there are some other new guys. Just try to cooperate for today. Then, no, I cannot hear you then. That's okay, no problem. If you can hear me, I'll just go on with the session. Since anyhow it is old session only, I'll just continue with the old session. Right. So any questions, Wisdom, regarding last session? Your volume is very low. You can just be a little close to your microphone. Very, very low. Can you just drop a message otherwise? Yeah, little better. Okay, it's quite clear. Fine. So you're able to play everything right now. Okay. One second, I just drop your call. Once again, I'll call back you. Yes. Yeah, Wisdom. Yeah. So I'll just go on with the today's topic. So whatever we are talking about DA system, and I told you what is the need of this DA system, it is to go for multi-reports. Right. See, for this multi-dimensional report, we are supposed to generate a multi-dimensional structure. So without this structure, we cannot generate the multi-dimensional reports. So obviously for multi-dimensional report, we are supposed to generate a multi-dimensional structure. So which is based on something called schema. So this multi-dimensional structure is based on something called schema. Now the question, what is schema? Right. So schema is nothing but logical arrangement of the tables. So it is nothing but logical arrangement of the tables. So what is the table? Table is nothing but combination of rows and columns. So row is nothing but record. Row is nothing but record. Column is nothing but a field. Just a field name, let's say. So we are talking about logical arrangement of schema. Talking about schema. Schema is nothing but logical arrangement of the tables, and in that table, what is it? You are going to have rows and columns. Row is nothing but a record. Column is nothing but a field. Let's say, for example, take out like this: employee ID, product ID, then transaction happen, sales of the transaction, revenue generated. Employee 100, product 11, days, let's say 2001 from 23rd. Right, sales is some 1200, revenue generated some $10,000. So now this is nothing but column known as field, and this is nothing but row known as record. So tables like this we are going to arrange. This arrangement is nothing but schema. So this is a table. Tables like this we are going to arrange in the desired format, nothing but schema. This is nothing but schema. Of course, there are two types of schemas. One is star schema. There are two types of schemas. One is the star schema. Second one, extended star schema. One is star schema. Second one, extended star schema. So star schema, it is used by other data warehousing systems, our competitors, like Cognos BA, they used to follow this. Hyperion BA, Business Objects, they used to follow this. When it comes to extended star schema, we are going to make use it in SAP BW system. We are going to make use of this schema in our SAP BI BW system. So any questions? Any question, Elvis? Right. And see, so I was talking to you schema. Schema is nothing but logical arrangement of the tables or logical structuring of the tables. So what is there in the tables? You got business data. So in these tables we got business data, but this data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse divided into two areas. The business data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse divided into two areas. One is characteristic data, and key figure. Now the question, what is characteristic? What is key figure? So the business data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse, I'm telling you, this is divided in terms of characteristic and key figure. Now the question, what is characteristic? What is key figure? See, what is our objective? We were generating some reports, right? Why we are generating these reports? It is to go for data analysis. Let's say, for example, I'm going by data analysis like this. I want to go by employee-wise sales analysis. So I told you the need of the BI system is to generate the report. Why we are generating the report? It is just to go for data analysis. So like this I want to analyze the data. So in this case, I want to analyze employee-wise sales information. So in this case, what is the data I'm analyzing? Sales, nothing but key figure. And so what is the base of my analysis? Employee, nothing but characteristic. So similarly, I want to go by employee product-wise sales analysis, employee product region and country-wise sales analysis, as well as revenue analysis, as well as cost analysis. So all these are known as key figures and they are known as characteristics. So in simple, CAR is nothing but base of the data analysis. It is the base of the data analysis. Any questions? Like employee, product, region, country, material, plant, vendor, sales organization, purchase organizations, like this. Any questions, anybody? Right. Next one, the key figures, they are the business facts. They are the business facts, or you can say it as validations. So in layman words, whatever data we are analyzing is key figure. Whatever data is we are analyzing is key figure. Whatever data we are analyzing is key figure. That's what I mean to say. So I told you CAR is nothing but base of the data analysis. The key figures are nothing but business facts. Right? Sales, revenue, cost, operating profit, operating margins, like this. Like this. And we can differentiate between CARs and key figures by using data types. There are some standard data types. Whenever you are defining any column in the table, the mandatory thing is data type. Without proper data type, so we cannot define CAR or key figure. So even we can differentiate between CARs and key figures by using data types only. The first data type is alphabetical data. The first data type for characteristic is alphabetical data. Something like employee name, always alphabets. Product name, always alphabets. That's what alphabetical data. Second one, I'm talking about alphanumerics. Like material ID, M11, product ID, alphabets as well as numbers, product ID P11, that's what. Alphabetical data as well as alphanumerics. So next one, numerical data but the condition is constant. Numerics which are constant like company code 1000, always it is constant. Country code 100, let's say, always it is constant. So that's what. So these are the data types. Next one, last one, date and time. So most of the time, I told you the data is analyzed with respect to different time intervals, like weekly sales analysis, monthly sales analysis, quarterly revenues, yearly revenues, like this. So most of the time the data is analyzed with respect to different time intervals like this. So in the data analysis this is very, very important. Getting my point? Any questions? Anybody?
Different data systems for each one of them. For example, for the characteristics, we have these are the different data types.
Yes.
Then the keys, under the key figure, we're also going to have different
data types. Yes. So these are the data types for characteristics, and now I'm going for data types related to key figures. Is it comfortable, Elvis? Yeah. Right. Next one I'm talking about data types for key figures. The first data type we have got amount. So to recognize it easily, amount always follows with currency column. Amount followed by currency column. Say for example, revenue, I'm making it as. So revenue should be followed with a currency column. Let's say for example, revenue is 10,000. But what is this 10,000? Whether it is US dollars or pounds or euros or Australian dollar, like this. See, regarding this currency referencing here, this is our key figure. Revenue is our key figure, and this is known as referencing column, and this is the value for key figure, and these are all known as referencing values. And for these referencing values, there is some SAP delivered standard table, TCURC. We can check this table later. Keep in mind, we got a table. So in this table, we got a standard referencing objects. Keep in mind, the data type for key figure is amount. To recognize it, currency is amount followed by currency column. Next one, quantity. Should be followed with unit referencing. Quantity should be followed with unit referencing. Like let's say for example, sales, making it as followed by unit. Sales as 1000 followed by units like tons, cans, gallons, like this. So this is unit referencing. For this there is some standard table, that is T006 table. Getting my point? Right. So next one, numerics, but the condition is not constant. Earlier also got numerics, they are constant, but here numerics which are not constant. Say for example, number of items sold, what happens? Keeps on changing. Number of deliveries keeps on changing. Number of sales orders, purchase orders, like this. So the data which is in the numerics which are not constant, nothing but key figures. Next one, date and time. Date and time. I told you earlier also about date and time. So date and time used in mathematical operations. You want to perform some calculations. Mathematical operations. Like let's say for example, I got employee joining date I got employee joining date and I got system date, where I want to calculate experience of the employee. I want to calculate experience of employee, that is system date minus joining date. That's what. Any questions? So these are the data types for cash and key figures. Any questions, Elvis? Right. Just keep in mind these things. Now we'll come back to star schema now. I just want to go by star schema. I just want to take up star schema. So in case of star schema, in the center fact table, surrounded by dimension table. So there are two new things to you. One is fact table. What is this fact table? Second one, dimension table. What is this? Dimension table. So fact table is placed with business facts, nothing but key figures. And the dimension table is placed with characteristics. And for every dimension, there is a dimensional key, which is maintained in fact table as a foreign key. Dimensional key in fact table as a foreign key. Let me show you something here. So this is star schema I'm talking about. See, in case of star schema, in the center fact table, which is placed with key figures, surrounded by different dimensions. You can see here. For every dimension, there is a dimensional key, which is maintained in fact table as a foreign key. This is just for simple understanding. And now you can see here. The center you got fact table, which is there with key figures like sales, revenue, cost, like this, facts. And surrounded by, you can see sales at dimension, product dimension, and time dimension. Sales at dimension, product dimension, and time dimension. So you can see for every dimension there is a dimensional key. For every dimension there is a dimensional key, you can see here. Sales at dim ID, product dim ID, time dim ID. The same dimension ID is maintained in fact table as a foreign key. So I'll just repeat once. First one I'm talking about fact table, which is placed with key figures. I'm talking about dimension tables. You can see sales at dimension, product dimension, time dimension. So sales at dimension, product dimension, and time dimension. For every dimension, this is the dimensional key. The same along with dimensional key, what other cases like sales org, sales division, sales person, like this. Same dimensional key is maintained in fact table as a foreign key. Using this primary key foreign key relation only, the fact table is connected with all the dimension tables. So what is this multi-dimensional data analysis here? See, we are analyzing our business facts which are there in fact table. We are analyzing our key figures. I told you whatever data we are analyzing is key figure which is there in fact table. I can say I am analyzing my fact table data with respect to the characteristics, that is nothing but dimensions. So I am analyzing my fact table data with respect to sales org dimension, product dimension, time dimension, nothing but multi-dimensional data analysis. This is nothing but multi-dimensional data analysis. Any questions, anybody? So in this center fact table, we got surrounded by sales org dimension, product dimension, time dimension. So what is there in fact table? Key figures. So what is there in dimension table? You got characteristics along with dimensional keys. the characteristics along with dimensional keys. So the dimensional keys are maintenance factable as a foreign key. The dimensional keys are maintenance factable as a foreign key. Using this primary key foreign key relations, the fact table and the dimension tables are connected. That's a summary. Any questions? Elvis, can you hear me? Right, comfortable, or do you need to explain anything?
I'm following.
Yeah. So try to go through, see, before tomorrow's session, if you can go through all this information, it's going to be easy. Elvis. Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah, it's possible to have the same dimensional key within each of these three areas, like the same sub-dimension table, time dimension table, and solar dimension table. Is it possible to have the same key within each of them? For example, the material number, we have the material number in the time dimension, the material number in the solar dimension table.
No, normally we don't maintain like that, wisdom. So there are some other relations where we have to define. The relevant cares only places to concern dimensions. Relevant cares are placed to concern dimensions. That's what. If you want to have one more dimension, we can have material dimension as different, product dimension as one more different. Since both are different. Okay? Right. So just keep in mind one thing, for every dimension there is a dimensional key which is maintenance factable as a foreign key. Any more? Any more questions? Right. Now, I want to tell you a very important point. This is the knocking point with respect to extended star schema. So in case of star schema, yeah. No, the key is different. The key can have data type, but the key is different from data type. So let's say employee ID, what is the data type? Product ID, what is the data type? NumC, numerical pairs. Column, see, the key is column, primary key, like for dimensional key is nothing but primary key of a table. So every table should have a primary key which is always unique in nature. So like the primary key is like dimensional key, let's say for example. So if you take out an employee master table, like employee ID, employee name, employee address, phone number. So this is primary key, and this key can be dimensional key in case of star schema. All these are relevant characteristics for employee. That's what. This is also a characteristic, and which we are maintaining it as dimensional key in this particular dimension. That's a product divided. Getting my point? Elvis. Right. So now I'll go to the next one. So in case of star schema, the master data is very important point. The master data is inside the dimension table. In case of star schema, the master data is inside the dimension table. Now the question, what is master data? I told you already. Right, it is constant data or the data seldom changes. Right, now master data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse divided into master data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse divided into attribute data, then text data, then hierarchy data. The master data with respect to SAP Business Warehouse divided into attribute, text and hierarchy data. Now the question, what is attribute, what is text, what is hierarchy? Now the question is, what is attribute, what is text, what is hierarchy? Anything? So it is the attribute I am talking about. It is the additional column or additional information of the characteristic. So first one I am talking about attribute. So if you take out a conventional master table like it, let's say for example employee ID, the primary key, nothing but characteristic here. The primary key, nothing but characteristic here. And all the remaining columns like employee address, employee phone number, employee designation. So all these are known as attributes of employee. Similarly, take out a product master table. Product ID, which is the primary key, which is always unique, and the product master table, nothing but characteristic, and all the relevant keywords like product group, product color, size of the product. These are all known as attributes of product ID. So what is an attribute? Attribute is the additional column or information of the characteristic. So I am talking about master data. So in case of star schema, the master data is inside the dimension. So what is there inside the dimension? Characteristic data, nothing but master data. But with respect to SAP Business Warehouse, master data is divided in terms of these areas: attribute, text and hierarchy. Now the question, what is attribute? That's what I am trying to say. Attribute is the additional column or additional information of the characteristic. Any questions? Any questions, Wisdom? Right. So second one I am talking about text. It is the description of the char. It is the description of the char along with language key. Along with language key. So the description includes short, medium and long descriptions. The description includes short, medium and long descriptions. Short, length of 20, medium, length of 40, long, length of 60. And the description can be loaded in any SAP supporting language. Description can be loaded in any SAP supporting language. The description can be loaded in any of the SAP supporting language. So to verify the SAP supported languages, you can see this is a standard table, P006 table. Right, let me make it like this. See, we are supposed to display the report in terms of user-specific language now. So let's say user is from German. So I'm supposed to display the data in terms of German itself. If the user is from US, I'm supposed to display the data in terms of US English. And if the user is from some other country, see, we are supposed to display the data in terms of user-specific language. For that, we are going to make use of text data, and which is loaded in user-specific language. Let's say for example, I got material ID M11. This is known as key value. This is known as key value. For this, we are going to load the description, that is desktop, hard disk, drive. What is the language we are using? English. So the description can be loaded in any user-specific language. It doesn't matter for us. It can be given in any user-specific language. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the attribute. If you take the product ID,
Hmm.
can you say, this is a little confused, the attribute and the text.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the text, includes, stuff like short, medium, and long.
Okay.
If you go back to the product ID,
Hmm.
can I have something like, long product, short product?
Product name, something like that. You mean to say product name?
Like a product name that would be like
Why we are classifying like this, I'm going to tell you. Attribute information. If you want to have, you can have it. But normally, so that name should be loaded in user-specific language. Since we are going to play around that names, right? In the reports, we are going to display with the name. Yeah, we are supposed to display the data in user-specific language. That is the reason why I am just taking that name into my textual data. Right? I can load the text data in any user-specific language, right? That's where. Fine. Any more wisdom?
So if you have a product ID, a product name, for example, you have a product tag.
Yes.
We can say the text can be a short term.
Yes, short, medium, and long.
So that is the text for that.
Yes. Right. So next one, hierarchy I'm talking about. So it is nothing but structural arrangement of the data. So if it is conventional star schema, so all this data is master data just for them. But here there is some advantage. Why we are classifying like this? There is some advantage. I'm going to take up what is that attribute, what is the text and hierarchy advantage I'm going to take up. So next one, hierarchy I'm talking about. It is a structural arrangement of the business data. It is the structural arrangement of the business data. Right, let's say for example, I'm operating in, say for example, country US with two different regions. One is central region, second one eastern region. Right, related to central region I got sales arc A and sales arc B. Related to eastern I got one more, sales arc C and sales arc D. So in the sales arc A I got two employees, let's say 100, 180, employee ID 100 and 200. So here I got two more, employee ID 300 and 400. Here I got two more, employee 500, 600. Got two more, 700, 800. So all this structural arrangement is nothing but hierarchy. Any questions? In the different languages, you are going to have different languages. Like EN is English, SP is Spanish, DE is German, something like this. Right? If you want to refer to the chat form, this is a table where we can see all the textual formats. Right? Fine. So, see, I told you what is star schema. So, in case of star schema, the master data is inside the dimension and which is divided with respect to city business warehouse into attribute, text and hierarchy. Now, just keep in mind the same. I want to take you to the extended star schema. So, I'll take up once again this tomorrow, extended star schema, but I just want to tell you the basic information. So, since see, there is a lot of information already, you can just go through the given information, but I'll just give you the summary. Once again, I'll take up tomorrow this extended star schema. So, the first point by point, I'll explain you. In case of extended star schema, the master data is outside the dimension. Earlier it is inside the dimension. If it is star schema, it is inside the dimension. If it is extended star schema, the master data is outside the dimension table. First point. Right. And it is connected to the master data which is outside the dimension is connected to dimension table by using surrogate ID table. The master data, which is outside the dimension table, is connected to dimension table by using surrogate ID table. We used to say it as SID. Surrogate ID, or I can say it as SID. Right. The surrogate IDs are generated by the system. I'm making it as SIDs, or generated by the system while loading master data. The surrogate IDs are generated by the system while loading master data. The same surrogate ID is copied to dimension table while loading transaction data. That's what. The same surrogate ID is copied to dimension table while loading transaction data. Without master data, we should not load transaction data. If loaded, it gives a SID missing error. Without master data, we should not load transaction data. If it is loaded, it gives a SID missing error. So let me show you one by one. Point by point, I'll explain it. So you can see here. So as usual, central fact table, there is no change at all. Extended star schema. Surrounded by, so you can see material dimension table, time dimension table, customer dimension table. But you don't have master data inside the dimension. What is your master data? Attribute data, text data, and hierarchy data. It is outside the dimension table, you can see. So metal ID, metal group, metal ID, metal name, see metal hierarchies. All this attribute data, text data, and hierarchy data is connected to some table. You can see here surrogate ID table. This is connected to surrogate ID table. You can see that. And these surrogate IDs are in turn they are maintained in dimension table. Can you find the relation, Elvis? Right. So if you take out customer dimension, so the customer master is outside the dimension. You can see customer attribute like city, region, and customer text data is outside the dimension table. Attribute and text is outside the dimension table. It is connected to some table called SID table where you got surrogate ID as well as customer ID. These surrogate IDs are automatically generated when loading master data, that is customer master. And the same surrogate ID is copied to your dimension table while loading transaction data. There are two different data loads for us. One is master data load, second one transaction data loads. So the master data is uploaded to attribute, text, and hierarchy table, and along with that, system is also filling your SID table. Master data attribute, attribute table, text, text table, hierarchy, hierarchy table. And all this, when you are loading all this master data, system is also filling your SID table. It is also filling your SID table. Right. So this is the master data, you can say it is loading to attribute, text, and hierarchy including SID table. And if it is transaction data, it is loaded to fact table and dimensional table. Just keep in mind that. Right, and you can see, if you take out all these tables, in SID table, attribute, text, and hierarchy table, you got a common column that is characteristic, your primary key. See, in attribute table, what is it? You got material ID. In text table, you got material ID. Even in hierarchy table also, you got material ID. In SID table, you got material ID as well as surrogate ID column. And when you are loading metal master, the surrogate IDs are automatically generated. That's what I need to say. Getting my point? Any questions? Any questions, anybody?
I'll wait and get a transcript at the end of the day and then go through. Maybe I'll understand this better.
Fine, fine. Anyhow, I'll just repeat it once again. I'll just stop here for today. I'm going to repeat the things once again, the schema. Yeah, once again. That is done. Yeah,
I'm wondering if both the master table, the master data and the transaction data are all in the extended stack schema.
I didn't get your question, Wisdom. Can you come again?
I was actually wondering if both the master data and the transaction data are all within the extended stack schema.
Yes. So, see, in extended star schema, master data is loaded to attribute text and hierarchy, including SID tables, and the transaction data is loaded to fact table and dimension table. That's the fundamentals. Right? I'll take up the example. I'll show you tomorrow once again. Right? And I'll just continue this tomorrow. So just keep in mind, this is very, very important. Any application, we are supposed to design this schema only. Any application, either it is sales orders, inventory, purchasing, any application we are generating reports means we are going to generate this schema itself. Without this schema, we cannot go ahead with our reporting. You can. Okay.